So I know some of you guys are tired of seeing Mutagenerator decks, but the deck is still good, and a lot of you guys do want to climb to 2500 plus, so it feels like we should really talk about this one a little bit more. You know, I've taken it so far to 2480, 2485, somewhere in that range, and it's going pretty smooth. One thing you have to accept is that you will often lose a card, you'll go card down, and there's not really coming back from that, but don't panic too much because you have so much carryover that it doesn't matter in most cases. This season's all about tempo dumping, throwing as many cards on the playing field as much as you can. So I haven't really seen much of this deck going around. I had a couple versions that I was trying out. Right now, Vernon Roach is no longer compatible with Blue Dream at 11p because it's 9 or less. We nerfed him to 10, so you can't do that combo anymore, so it doesn't feel as toxic. If Mutagenerator gets heat waved, you're in trouble, but I haven't been seeing a lot of heat waves in the matchups. At least today I did include when a heat wave was taken, so if you want reference, look at game 2, kind of how that goes. I'm pretty sure it was game 2, might have been game 1, but anyways, it's in there somewhere for you. And I did consult with a couple top tier pro players about this deck when I was playing different versions of it. In the past, what I had was Amphibious and Oneiromancy, and I did not have, in this case, John Natalis and Avalac. I just relied on those two tutors there, and it was going all right. But after speaking to Ethne Cute Dryad, talking about what they did, and as well as Rosmarella, I decided to go ahead and put in the full test pride that I didn't have before, and put in double oil and put in the John, take out the Oneiromancy and kind of keep it that way. One of the things that they also recommended is putting in a pikeman in replacement of one of the battering rams. I like that a lot of times with getting cooldowns down for obviously the full test pride, maybe the Caro Ballista or the reinforced ballista. What I did find is that there are some times where, given the hand in round 1, we often run out of siege engines, so then scenario doesn't get its final proc. So you have to be careful when you're playing things like that, which is why I've sort of implemented a rule where I maybe take a battering ram, a reinforced ballista, and maybe a Caro in round 1 and don't touch anything else. We do play our deck pretty much down to 0, so I know that I have at least, you know, maybe one of these in deck, and then maybe this in deck, and 3's better than 2, which is better than 1, which is better than none. So, you know, that's kind of why we have it like that. But you got to be careful about the amount of siege engines you play early, and you also got to be careful because you don't really want to play Lyrians, you know, at 5. You kind of like them for 8 or 9, play them later as finishers on the melee row. So again, just things to look out for there. I don't know if they had Ronvid in theirs, but I think Ronvid's really important for doing the cycle. When you play the Revenant, jam the leader, recycle, play these, get damage, get Revenants, and kind of just do that for a short round 3. You could put up about 40 points in like a 3-card round 3 if you do it properly. So, you know, there's that. The way the deck works is we have mobilization, leader ability, spawn a base copy of an allied bronze soldier on its row and boost both units by 3. So whatever that Revenant is, more likely, you know, it'll be like 8 points, brings it out to like 11, pulls another one up there on 7. It's hard to remove either of those, which is nice because then you can just start killing ones, like the Ronvid that comes out immediately, followed by whatever you chip down on your second card played. So we have that. I try to save that for round 3, obviously, because it's like a win condition. Even if I'm card down, it's kind of what makes up for it. Curse Scroll, again, is just to make sure that we get Mutagenerator in round 1 or a way to get it. If I can go as far as getting Avalac into Mutagenerator and just getting that thinned out of the way, it's fine, because oftentimes as we're playing stuff on the range row for Mutagenerator, you know, just what we're looking for here is whenever you play a unit on your range row, boost 5 random units in your deck with the same provision cost by 1. So that's the idea, right? So you want to just play a bunch of stuff on range row when the row gets full, maybe play 1 or 2 things on melee to get a bunch of points, because it'll do the same thing but on the battlefield. So it's kind of the idea. But things do get killed on the range row. So if you have Avalac out there and you have Musicians of Blaviken out there at the beginning of the game, you don't have to worry too much, because like they'll make room by killing stuff off for more cards that you play. So you have this out first. You play all 5 provision cards as long as you can go. When you're trying to get out of the round, maybe because you don't want to lose on even, you look for John Natalis into Amphibious and try to get out something really tall, hopefully another 5 provision card, and you know, you try to run away. Most often the opponent's going to push you in a really uncomfortable 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, we need 2 for scenario, so we've got 4 that are basically playable in around the rest of the game. Make sure we get these Siege Masters in hand, you know, mulligan, look for them so that we can thin out, we can get to stuff, right? It's okay to boost them in deck. That's amazing for carryover. But if we don't have any of the siege engines left, then they're literally going to have to be played for hand from like 7 or 8 points, which defeats the entire purpose of having them as thinners. Okay, so careful that we get these out. Greed is what's going to kill you with this sort of thing. I mean, it is a greedy deck by nature. You do have to play greedy round 1 and expect that, but careful. Also, careful when you're taking Blind Roach. The other version that I put together prior to consulting with the other guys was basically enabling you to be able to take a Blind Roach, because it was essentially siege, this stuff, and then just tutors. So I knew there was no boiling oil. It was all 5s. So basically when I took a Blind Roach, it was like 80% of the time I was hitting 2 5s, assuming I had, siege in hand. Right? So that's kind of why I don't take Blind Roach anymore unless I absolutely have to. So just think about it that way, right? It's also nice to have Roach in a short round 3. If we got a few cards left, we know we're not going to brick anything, and then, it's more fodder for the rev. So hopefully that explains it to you guys here. If you're looking to climb to pro level, high rank, high MMR, this will get you there. This is probably the best version of the deck that exists right now. And happy climbing. But again, it's going to be a tough round 1. If Mutagenerator gets Heatwave, you're going to be in trouble. But again, you'll see in some of the gameplay today, good and bad, that it still does what it's supposed to. It just isn't insanely OP in the way that it once was. So yeah, I'll see you guys very soon. I haven't posted in a couple weeks, so I'm going to try to make up for it over the next couple days. All right, so we got Fruits of Ysgith coming up here first. I've got a pretty decent hand. I just like saving these for later. I feel like the Full Test Pride might be able to bail me out if it gets tough. I don't want too many, warfare cards in hand, honestly, because I want to be able to play units in round 1, so we're going to put that back. And then you got to be mindful about how many siege engines we're playing early. So for me, I'm probably going to put back a Reinforced Ballista and kind of go over it this way. And we just hope that they don't have Verification and it's not like a Golden Necker version. We hope that they don't have Heat Wave. And, if those 2 things go well, I should be okay. We get the freshly imported deck from playgwent.com. And they don't. Sick. They're going to out-tempo me to like the 9s, but we can try. I'm going to play this first because I want the crew pocket for the Caraballista. Actually, and battering ram too, then I can select what I want. Having Heatwave here in round 1's pretty nice. I'm wondering if I should actually just maybe take a turn to play Full Test Pride, get the cooldown too, and just kind of use that to save me. I think so. Kind of a smart play here, though. So they're playing like a Beast Poison variant, more or less. I think I'm still supposed to take this, though. I forgot I had another 8, so at least we get an Avalac boost. Okay, so we see some removal here. There you go. It was nice. Good effort, I guess, We just want to keep this row kind of not doing Sabbath, basically. I'm thinking we go Ronvid here, but we warm up the Ram first. You're going to go in with the 17 already? I feel like that was your finisher. They want, obviously, to get a pig down. That's the big move here. So I'm wondering if I should actually just take this and just kind of just wait a minute. It's okay, man. So I'm going to take Avalak here. And I think I'm just going to put back... It's got to be the lock. They haven't played the offerings. They haven't played a whole lot, so... we should still kind of go for it a little bit here. It does make sense to try to take this down quick so that if they do have a megascope. So they went Toad instead of Ethereal, or Toad instead of Aguara. This should help me a bit though. So Calvite coming down, or not Calvite, I was just playing Assimilate. And Natalis coming down. I think I'm actually willing to use a pikeman. It's probably one of the least effective things here for later, so... So what are the likelihood? It's pretty high chance. I've only got a couple siege engines in the deck though, so if I hit even one of them, I'm in trouble. I think I'm doing it. I hit one. I'm in trouble. We're just getting carryover like you would not imagine, so it's hard to feel bad. Like, look at this, man. The only sort of substitute would be to swap out the pikeman for another battering ram as like a security, but so they get the vitality there. Do we ever just play it? Probably not. Mamuna, Toad, Werewolf, the whole combo. This is probably Erendite or something. Well, if it was, they would have played it maybe a little bit sooner before Mamuna. The hand is good. If that's ethereal, I'm just going to go in for Margarita. Yeah. I think going card down here is actually not a big deal. So we still try to preserve scenario, right? This plays for enough points to get me there. To be honest though, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a leader rip here. They might have Eskel Heatwave or Eskel Erendite. Yeah, it's the arrow. at 12. And we're not going to get a nice even number here, but we just float that for now. I just don't want them to play anymore. We have to actually make sure they don't. So obviously arrow at 12 is a big deal. So the Revenant probably dies. What are my options? I have 2 mulligans. We need that. So this can go. That's about as good as it gets here, right? They don't know that I don't have enough, so we play it like we do. We'll take it so we can at least sink a damage before it gets killed. Then we go Rev next. There we go. You love it. Now the Thrive's turned off, which this might actually mean to me that this sticks. And then we can control what we want. This is perfect. So do you have Eskel? No, it does not get there. We win the game easy. Yeah. Okay, next up here we got Reckless Flurry, which is notorious for killing engines. And we'll see what we can do. So both of these, which is really good. We have Amphibious, which I like a lot. This can go back for now because I need to be able to boost. We have access, you know, so we don't have to worry too much here. I'm wondering if I should just maybe hold on to Siege so that I can play my top 2 cards with Roach for tempo. I might just, yeah, I mean, it actually doesn't get much better than that. Like, it's mainly soldiers in round 1. And then after I take the Roach play, then I can just go and put, you know, maybe Siege back, or I can just hold Siege now that I played Avalak. Well, that sucks. Can we still win? Because now we have to. Oh, it's gonna be fun, guys. Is it Witchers? Yeah, looks like it. This is kind of useless, but do we just hold? Probably we just hold for a bit. I think Roach is going to be a carry for later on in the game, so I don't really want to take him now, you know? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to pull Heatwave. We're going to put this back. I'm thinking I'm actually going to Heatwave Portal, because if I can mess up their consistency with the Witchers, then I should be actually doing a little bit better overall, you know what I mean? 1 less pull means 1 potential brick, which could be very good for me. We can at least hit that now. Because there aren't really many good Heatwave targets in this matchup, so that's kind of where I'm coming from. They'll certainly use both, right? Yeah. So I'm probably going to take Roach to get out. Either that, or we're just going to go in for like a crazy swing with Amphibious, but I got some time to figure it out. How do you feel about Foltest Pride? I think that's kind of like a win con for later. Let's just do this. These are terrible right now, so... Am I actually just going to hit that and let it heal? It seems like such a waste to me. If I get out here, I should be okay, because I think my long round is better than theirs. They're just not going to let me. I think I'm alright, man. So it was one offering. A trial Heatwave. I do have access to siege engines, which is good. My throwaway card is probably the Revenant here. I'm wondering if I should maybe look for something worse. Should I think I'm going to just float a Caro. And then wait, and then go in for AA or something like that after. Top 2 pulls likely. I just don't want to trade Scenario for Vile. I do think we probably lose this game. So they're going to do that, and then just, okay. We have to play it in. They still have the opportunity to pass, though. We play into another offering, but at least I get to use the order. I think we're saving this and this, and we're just going to play the lock. This is tough. Mobilization will help me quite a bit, right? Especially if we get the double rev thing going on. I can't be playing boilings, you know? Okay. John Boiling. We'll figure it out. I think Foltest Pride might actually be the move once we get both of these going. We're basically going to play the whole deck, though. So the fact that we're card down doesn't necessarily mean we lose. I'd like to get the Arbalest ASAP. Damn, eh? Then it plays into an offering real quick. We have another one, though. Yeah, let's do it that way. I gotta get my orders in order, you know? Ah, nice. What, you thought all four were just gonna hit it? Now you have a hard choice. Do I take out this or this? I don't know. But they do. I don't mind taking this. And it's like all their removal's gone, so we'll just kind of take it slow. They're going to have a huge swing at the end. Damn, bro. What are we looking at? One of those? Should I just take a boiling? Because then that's ready next turn. And then I can cool it down again. They're going to hold the trio. It's going to be tough for me. I think we're just going to do one of those, right? Can you do 30 points in 2 turns? Yeah, probably. Yeah, it just wasn't my match. Alright, we got Blaze of Glory coming up here next. Game number 3, we go first again. And I've got what I need. I think Boiling can go back for a bit. I don't want to play too many sieges, so this kind of works. I think we're going to save Full Test Pride for later. I don't want to play 3, though. It's probably going to go back. There we go. It's a little bit better. And then I'm going to use... I'll probably pull Roach and put back Siege or something. That's really bad. I guess I pull Lock. If I don't take care of her, then it's just going to be a nightmare, so... They're not making this easy for me. If I take Boiling, this gets purified. So we just start playing, I guess, right? We'll do this first. Then we can create the pocket for the ram and try to kill that thing soon. So no Gutting Slash. It's only BT2, so I'm chilling. Good. Because this has to die now. We'll put this here so we can make a pocket on the way back down. And obviously I don't want these to die either, so I might just like chip at this here, because then I get the cooldown reduction on 2. What are we at now? 9? It's kind of bad still. It's going to be what? 11 in round 3? Tier at 22. We can't really lose this round. Yeah, it sucks, but you can just take a Revenant here. I feel like Blaze of Glory's significantly better for us because their round 1 tends to be slow. And they missed all their hits too, which is really nice. I had one job, is to click this first. We're going to get more though, it's fine. It's going to have to be just taking AA and taking the Ronvid like we were going to. So it's all the same, you see. I think Roach is too expensive, but I wouldn't mind taking a Talus. We don't have to. So we just go for a heavy bleed, right? If they're trying to play Warlords, they literally did not. So we got that. I need actually... This is fine. We're guaranteed, like... I think it's 2-0 or bust, honestly. Let's take... we do Roach now, I think. Nice. A single turn proc. Ah. And then I can go in for Amphibious like I wanted to for the Revenants. And basically have a pocket on the front row for Foltest Pride. I wonder if they sink all into that one rev just so they get the full value. They don't. Okay. I was going to say that's my heat wave, but I think what they're trying to basically look at here is like... we'll just take it, right? Hit for a 3-2. Yeah. I probably still do it. It's just a lot of points. Yeah, we can kill that stupid thing. We're going for it, man. What, they're gonna go Facusia Herald and somehow win? Nah. See? Okay, we got Tactical Decision coming up here next. I don't think we do great against constructs. Renfrey midrange has a lot more tempo than us and has a lot of locks. So I think either way you look at this is going to be a tough match. This has to go back for now. Seeing 2 revs is not really good either. A battering ram, like this is playable. Maybe the lock is valuable. I think I'm actually going to put back the... Well, having 1 for the infantry flip stuff is going to be really good, so maybe we do take it. I don't need a lock. We just put back siege, keep Avalak, we should be okay. I'm just thinking John into boiling oil plus a ping off anything is pretty much a kill, so get the freshly imported deck from playgwent.com. So John into boiling procs this before the boiling hits, so we can't do that. This is going to be construct abduction probably, so something to prepare about or prepare for. I think we just lose round 1 uneven. Should I take a heat wave to help? Yeah, probably. The only thing is that then we hit this and it doesn't really do me justice, you know? Cool. I'm just going to take my time here for a minute. I'm still going to take my heat wave though and put back siege. Because it might just be the best move next turn, just heat wave the 16. And then once they play something else, then just take battering ram off that so we don't waste a point on the dog. But you know what though? Might just do this first. Because the Revenant poses a threat, but it's not really here. And they're swinging. So if I lose on even at 5, it's not the end of the world, but I don't know. It might be if it's Colgrim. If it is Colgrim, though, which I'm starting to think it is now, starting to see these, right? Before, it's just characteristic of other stuff, but now it's like, okay, we're looking at a Colgrim deck. So this Heat Wave is very important, but also getting around a defender, which I can't really do unless I have a bunch of orders set up, so... And we know Roach is going to play trash cards, right? So there's not really much I can do about it. I'm thinking that I might actually have to take scenario. We get that crew pocket here too. That's ambitious, but... I don't think they pass here. I think they take every opportunity to continue clogging. They pass. That's actually news to me. Should I just play the trash then? Maybe save it. It's still a lot of points. We could prevent one at least. I'll do it this way. A boiling doesn't hurt. So I've got 3 thins here. If I pull into these, which is unlikely, then we've got 5. Yeah, my top deck is really mangled. Keep the lock. Keep this. I'm thinking I go Revenant and just start cannibalizing here. Okay, at least I got lots of food for them. Oh, we gotta make sure we pay attention. I'm thinking we just go ranged. Yeah, just keep it going, keep it going. I do have a heat wave and we do have a lock, so if I can somehow get around a defender, the problem is, like, if they don't have one, it's easy win. But if they do, we're so done. That's a tough choice. You take the Revenant, or do you take... Okay. Do I have anything valuable left? Not really. So those Vipers are not really going to do a whole lot here. We're going to have to actually sink this for full value. You know what I might do now? Because they can't renew the Defender, is get out, keep the Heat Wave. Oh, so you can hit it quicker? I don't think you should have done that, honestly. I guess they just don't think I have Heat Wave or any way to get it, but that might have actually costed you the game. Well, not necessarily. We got our cards. That's kind of the priority. Is there anything else we should look for, though? I like what I see. I just don't know if I'm going to get much value from that. Okay, that's actually better. Still comes down at 9. And you're going to get an 8 here if you're looking for that kind of boost. We'll just take it as we can here. Next is going to be Renew. We Heat Wave that. Yeah. That was very uncomfortable, but we got it done. They actually clogged a lot. The fact that, oh, just to spite me? Thanks, man. Well, I'll show you something too, buddy. So, you know, given the circumstance here, we'd take this, we'd go here. I'm going to take a Revenant because they pulled the foul move of putting back. There you go. All right, we got Imprisonment, Nilfgaard coming up here next. Probably the last game of the day. We'll see how we feel. If we lose, I'm going to have to go again. You know how it goes, but let's see. I have a really strong hand. Obviously, we got thinning stuff here. I just don't want too many siege engines, so I'm going to put one back. I don't like having two Lyrians here because I want to do the soldier play later, so we're going to put one back. Boiling is not really that ideal, but there might be an engine I have to stop. I'm wondering if I should just maybe put this back and keep Margarita. I might not get a choice. I don't like when they DC like this when I'm actually taking mulligans because I feel like the counter still goes, so I'm going to put this back for now. Either way, let's see what happens when we play our first card. So much NG. Are they playing Cultists? Are they playing Renfrey mid-range with blocks just to make sure? I'm actually wondering if I should maybe use the Lyrian to bait out removal. Oh my gosh. If they use a leader lock on this, then I play this. It gets armor on the first turn. It negates a little bit of that. That might actually be the case here. I think they're playing constructs, honestly. I just feel like everyone is, so whenever I play against Nilfgaard, it's kind of what I say. Nope, now I'm thinking it's Renfrey. Okay. I'm just going to use this before I can't, right? That's probably the move. What did I tell you, man? And let me guess, you got Ivar too? Should I play one of these and then play this? Yeah, because we have to chip down first, right? Do I go the John Amphibious route? I probably go Curse Scroll. Maybe the lock goes back because I'm not seeing anything to interact with. And then we go John Amphibious and try to just like jam here. Wait, don't tell me I'm playing against Clog again? What's with all the Clog players today? I gotta try to get rid of this before they take a teleportation. If they do, then that's kind of annoying because I wasted a point, but I think we can actually like kind of get to work here. I might just do this first. We'll take John now. Kind of makes me want to keep the Revenant, or get rid of the Revenant though and keep the lock. We have a way to tutor it after, it's fun. Rev could be a round saver. Yeah, that's exactly what we're playing against. We'll see how much you can clog though. So we'll do one of these, we'll do one of these, we'll do one of these, we'll do one of these. I don't like that leader though. Oh, it's just full witchers. Okay. I think this is probably not as strong then. I still have room to just play trash like this here. Really? Should I just go and take, I might. That's a lot of provisions, you know? You play a... Oh, damn, that kind of sucks. Ah, damn it. I'm just going to take the heat wave on that. I just don't want to take a blind card here, you know what I mean? I could still beat Colgrim, because I actually don't think it's Colgrim anymore. Do I even... Maybe I just don't. I was going to say, like, look at all the carryover. Maybe I just don't do anything about it. Just lose that one. They used leader plus trio plus, you know what I mean? We have the same amount of cards in deck. If it is Colgrim, it's not that big of a deal. This card is so good in decks like this. But it's not good enough to just be a mid-range card. It's weird. I need an actual siege engine. That's decent because I can get one here. Maybe. This actually gets me ahead by 1. They're going to place... Yeah. It's going to get tough, man. Okay. I don't know, we might get clapped. Maybe. Nice, we pull one here. If I see like a Vilg, I'm gonna cry though, because that's a huge Vilg. Oh, it's Golden Necker? I was not expecting that. I guess... It's actually a pretty sad Colgrim though. Like, come to think of it, they're gonna take that out for sure. Last card is Vilgefortz, right? And then they have nothing. Golden Necker was a brick too. Yeah, it's going up by 3 points. I've got a lot of juice left for round 3 and we could save leader. No shot. They just figured it would be enough. They're going to forfeit now. And then I'll see you guys pretty soon in the next video. So Avalak's a brick. And we'll just get rid of boiling. They were baiting out the Vilgefortz in round 2. That was what they were doing. I'd be a little concerned if they stayed in. Because then they might have Exodia. Yeah, they do. Man, the effort is, like, respectable here, you know? I'm just gonna take this, man. I'm just gonna warm it up, max win. You gotta respect the hustle. Maybe they just want to see the deck. I don't know what other reason you have to kind of stick around for this one. Oh, shoot. Siri last say. Do I show them? I don't know. Here. Yeah, I guess. Something like that.